Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video we are going to learn how we can draw flowers. These flowers are very simple and in a string having group of flowers in it. So it is more like multiple flowers combines together to create a one single flower. And I'm going to use these needle pen. These are 01 and 05 mm pen for smaller element and bigger element. If you don't have these needle pen, don't worry about it. You can use normal ball pen also. It's totally fine to start with. Now let's start with the first one. So I'm creating a string, like in which direction I need my flower composition to be. So I'm creating that thing with the help of pencil so that we can rub those things whenever we want. Now I'm creating simple flower having 5 petals in it and small ovary in the center, and I'm doing it in between that particular string so that this should more look like we are not able to see the stem, we are not able to see the string because of all these flowers. And I'm keeping the flower perspective little different, and you will get different perspective because your petal shapes are different. Like for example, you can keep 3 petals a little bigger and 2 petals little smaller, and then you can add some curls into those petals, and you can create some behind flower as well, wherein you are not able to see the whole flower but few flowers are there. Now create the middle stem, and as you can see we have created multiple flowers in the center, so that's why we're not creating anything in that particular area. Then go in upward direction and create some flower birds. You can create flower birds like creating a round shape and then few petal structure inside it, or else you can create half bloomed flower, like little bit petals we are able to see but not fully bloomed. And then you can create some sepals because those are side angled flower. Now you can add some leaves, and you can also create some small elements at the top. For this particular composition I'm creating leaves in a string and having multiple leaves side by side alternate direction. I think this much is enough. We can do little bit of detailing into the flower, like I am cross hatching the folded pattern of the flower to get some extra shading. You can do the same thing for the leaves as well. Cross hatching means creating the parallel lines very close to each other and then a cross line to get some extra shading and detailing. You can do a little bit of shading in the petals as well. So these kind of things you can do if you want to. Otherwise these are very small flower, you can avoid these things. I think we are done with the first one. Now let's start with the second one. Again, I want a guideline and direction for my stems and the flowers. So this one I'm keeping straight. And for this particular one, you need to create a oval kind of structure or round kind of structure, but little wavy pattern around the edges. And going upward direction, keep the size of this particular oval shape little smaller in size. So the lowest one has bigger oval shape and the uppermost has the smallest in size. And then create the middle stem as per your flower composition. So if your flower is in between, do not create any stems around that. And then you can create substem, keeping the middle stem and the substem intact with each other. In the middle of the flower, again you can create a oval kind of a structure to create ovary, and then create few lines to create petal kind of form. This flower is very easy to draw and easy to paint as well. I'm going to show you how we can paint all these flowers in my next video. So we are done with the lines, we are done with the middle oval shape to create ovary of the flower. You can add leaf. So again, you can use different varieties of leaves if you want to. So I'm using this simple leaf structure having one pointed end and line in between, and I think that's enough. If you want, you can add some extra flower, and then you can do sketching around the flowers. You can do cross hatching and all those things to beautify this particular flower. And see how beautiful this is, very simple to draw. And we are almost done with the second one as well. Now let's move to the third one. So for the third one, again I'm creating a stem. This time it has substem. I want to create a group of small flowers at the top, and this is little bit tilted towards the right side, and I'm creating a small flower having 5 petals in it. So either you can keep the petal little pointed, or you can keep petals in a round form. So basically we need to create very simple flower but small in structure and in a group. So this is more like a one group. Then we have substems here, so I'm creating another group of flower. This one is inspired by the mustard flowers. If you have seen mustard flower, you can relate it easily. And then you can create the middle stem, substem, and then also create stems for the flowers. Now you can do some extra flower birds around it. So I'm creating a small round kind of structure because the flower itself is very small, so we don't need to do some extra thing to create flower birds. Now I want to create some leaves, so I'm creating this fine longer leaves like this around the stems in a different direction. So you can keep it like this, and then you can contour the leaves a little bit to get some extra shading into it. Very simple flower and very easy to draw. Even if you are a beginner, you can do it easily. Now let's move to the another flower. So I'm creating 2 flowers having a straight composition in it, and for the fourth one I'm creating round kind of structure left and right from the middle string, and then create some smaller element at the tip of the string. Now this one is more like a second one only, but in the second one we have created the fully bloomed flower having wavy pattern around the edges, but this one is rounder in shape, and I'm not doing anything extra in it. I want to make it look like round in shape itself. And then you can create sepals at the base of the flower, and then you can create leaves. This time I'm creating leaves little pointed, and this is more like pointed leaves and bigger in size. So something like this you can do. And then I'm doing some stippling process around the flower. So I'm adding little dots at one side of the flower to make it look like little fluffier. So definitely this is more like a second one, but very different from that. If you want, you can do some extra shading and detailing around the leaves as well. And likewise you can create different composition based on different varieties of flowers and leaves. Now let's concentrate on the last one. So for the last one, again I'm creating a straight string, and this time I have started with the leaves. The rest I have started with the flower, but this time I want to start with the leaves. And I have created a small element at the tip. Now let's create the leaves. For the leaves, I'm creating a zigzag kind of pattern at one side and smoother on another side. So we can see the serration only at one side of the leaf and having smooth edges on the other end. So create multiple leaves side by side, left and right. Now you can create group of leaves as well if you want to. So we are concentrating more on the leaves for this particular one. And then for the flower, I am creating a small heart kind of shape or little zigzag kind of pattern in it, and I'm creating all these flower in a group. So basically the whole structure is one flower, and then we are creating multiple flowers in a group left and right to get something like this. And then you can do some extra shading and detailing around the leaves as well. Remember, you can use different size of pen to do all this shading and detailing, or else to start with you can use normal ball pen as well. So hope you have liked this video. Please do let me know if you guys have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching.